First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you, and have a really great one, okay? So this is the build order for Kog'Maw. For the offensive items, you should build like this in order: Trinity Force to Berserker Greaves, to Infinity Edge, Leaf King, and then to Last Whisper. For defensive items, you should build a Mercurial Scimitar, or a Guardian Angel, or a Banshee's Veil. And the reasons to why you should build the defensive items like that is because if the enemy team comp has a lot of CC, or known as card control, you would want to buy Mercurial Scimitar. Or if the enemy is too bursty or has a lot of assassin, such as Zed, LeBlanc, or etc., you will want to buy Guardian Angel. But if the enemy team consists of AP more than AD, or the AP carry is fed, you want to build Banshee's Veil. During laning phase, you have to position yourself where you don't get much damage and you can farm safely. The other keys are farming. You have to be good in farming, as I mentioned before. Although I wasn't really good in farming in this game, but I do get about 60 to 65 CS, or most of the time I get 70. And the other things that you really have to master is the mechanics in game in League of Legends. Some people may call it kiting or orb walking, stutter stepping. You can practice this in custom game or when you're trying to kite the enemy. This is simply done by clicking A on the enemy, or for some people they just right click on the enemy. Although that is not really recommended because you might accidentally click the ground. So you can do A, and then you click on the enemy, and then you use your right click to go backwards, then you repeat that step. And the other thing that you need to know about being a good ADC is the game knowledge. So you also know you should also know when the enemy summoner spells are on cooldown and when it will be back up. For example, most people would have flash at 300 seconds, although they might have a cooldown reduction on their mastery page, and you should know what to build during certain situations. Some tips on the Kog'Maw is that when you play Kog'Maw, don't ever spam your skills just to deal damage on the enemy carry or enemy people, because Kog'Maw is really mana hungry early, so it's better if you just basic attack or use your W, because it's the most efficient way, since your W by your Arcane Barrage doesn't, you don't need any mana for that. And if you're trying to trade with the enemy carry, use your Bio Arcane Barrage when you're trying to trade with the enemy, because it deals a lot of damage. Okay, and you can also use Bio Arcane Barrage in situations like when you're trying to poke them when they are under their turret, or when you're really low under your turret, you want to still farm safely. You can use your Bio Arcane Barrage because you gain an immense range. You get 130 at level 1, 150 at level 2, 170 at level 3, 190 at level 4, and 210 range at level 5. And this skill, Bio Arcane Barrage, which is Kog'Maw's W, only takes 17 seconds to be back up after a cooldown, and it will be usable for 8 seconds after you activate the Bio Arcane Barrage. To be a good ADC, there are some keys that you have to really master. That is positioning in team fight or during laning phase. As an ADC, you don't really want to go in front line and tank the damage because you are really squishy, and just from the name, you are a carry. Okay, so the first item that you really want to rush is the Triforce, because it really works well with your spells. And the sheen with your W, it's really good. Like, it gives massive damage to the enemy. As an ADC, you would probably want to have about 60 to 65 CS by 10 minutes. I mean that's like the average, but if you have like 70 plus, that's considered pretty good. And by 20 minutes you want to have about 150 CS. Okay, when I back, you want to buy Sheen as your first item, or Phage if you have more gold. But if you don't have money for those two, you would want to go for a longsword or a Doran's blade depending on your situations. If you are losing your lane, then you want to go for Doran's blade since it gives you the extra sustain and health, the damage. And you should also buy health potion. Remember to buy health potion, at least 3 of them, because it's really important to sustain and stay in lane long time so you can farm and get gold.
I like how you